Hello and welcome to Dan Explains. I'm Dan. A common belief among Protestant denominations, and of course, Protestants that don't consider themselves part of any denomination but include themselves with the other reformers, is that they are justified by faith only. Usually, they use the Latin phrase sola fide, faith alone, to describe it. This is one of the three solas, and this is the first time I'm making a video specifically talking about one of them. Well, faith alone is wrong. Let me explain why. So, what is faith alone? I think most people watching this probably already know, but just in case, let me explain a little. Christians in general believe they are saved through Jesus. Saved from what? Hell, of course. Eternal damnation. This is what's needed because of Adam and Eve's sin, which I've already talked about in another video, link in the description. If you don't have faith in Jesus and his ability to save you from hell, well, then you're faithless, and you know what that means. But if you do have faith in Jesus and his ability to save you from hell, well, you do have faith. Having attained the ability to be saved is called being justified. Hence, justified by faith. Okay, that's pretty simple. So, what's faith alone? Well, that's the belief that after you start to have faith in Jesus and you're justified, as long as you don't lose your faith, aka stop believing in him, you will be saved from hell. Also, pretty simple. But maybe too simple to get into heaven. Now, I'm going to mention some passages from Scripture, but I'm not going to bother pulling out every verse. People have written so many books that do go into that kind of detail, you could fill several libraries. And this is a short video. If you want to delve into that, then you can go and read one of those many books. So, let's start off with this. Where in the Bible does it actually say justified by faith alone? It says it in just one place, James 2:24, where James says, "You see that a man is justified by works, and not just by faith alone." Oh, that's funny. James the Apostle said, "You're not justified by faith alone." Now, I know many Protestants will whip out the Bible and go to Romans 3:28 and say, "For we hold that men are justified by faith apart from works of the law." But notice there's a qualifier there. Not just works, but works of the law. The reason why Paul writes that is because he is writing against the idea that was propagated by a group of people called Judaizers, who basically believed that you had to follow all the Jewish precepts, like circumcision and staying kosher, to be saved. Those are the works he's talking about. All the works the Jews were required to do according to the Jewish law. Well, what about the context of James 2:24 then? Well, James is writing about how faith and works are codependent on one another. Now, he doesn't say if you had no works, then you have no faith. But what he does say is that without works, your faith is dead. So, you can have faith but no works. He also asks a rhetorical question. Can faith without works save you? In order to point out their interdependence. The upshot is that faith without works can't save, and works without faith can't save either. The two are interconnected. I like analogies. I think a good one here is air. Saying that you're justified by faith alone is a bit like saying you're alive by air alone. While it certainly is the most important thing you need to be alive, you'd be dead minutes without it. However, it's not the only thing we need. We also need food and water. And food and water are like works. Like faith is for our souls, if we didn't have air, we'd die right away. also the way that works are for the soul. Food and water are things you have to work for to get. You won't die if you aren't getting them every moment. Although maybe some of us might feel that way, but you will if you go too long without them. If we simply substitute faith with air and works with food and water in some verses of James' epistle, it will help make more sense. What does it profit, my brothers, if a man says he has air but has no food and water? Can air save him? Well, my friends, a man cannot live on air alone, nor be justified by faith alone. At least not for very long anyway. So, there is at least one side case where it can happen, but it's the exception that proves the rule. The act of justification is like taking your first breath. You need air to do it, but not food and water. If you died right after that justification, you'd still go to heaven without a single work because your soul is still alive. Similar to dying between taking your first breath and needing to consume any food or water. So it's possible to be justified by faith alone, but I don't think that's the way most of us want to do it. In fact, it's probably too late for most of the people who are watching this video to be saved that way anyway. They're probably baptized believers. If you're not, and you're still watching this far, I still don't think you want to go that way either. Another way to look at this is a drug addict saying he's drug-free just because he knows he shouldn't be doing drugs, but are still doing them anyway. He's still a drug addict. People who really are drug-free have a different lifestyle than those who aren't, and it shows outwardly. Christianity is the same way. If you really do believe in God and salvation through Jesus and call yourself Christian, but you don't act like a Christian ought to, I'm sorry, you're not really Christian. If you like this video, please press the like button. Subscribe to my channel and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon, link in the description. The more people support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.